Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 9 Mile Canyon in Utah. Despite its name, this canyon is actually about 46 miles long, and there is Native American rock art throughout its length. I saw some numbers online saying that there are 1,000 different panels of rock art here with up to 10,000 individual images. Then I saw something else saying that that number could be as much as 10 times higher. However you want to look at it, there is an immense amount of rock art here. This has been called the world's largest and longest art gallery for that reason. But we're not actually here to look at too much rock art today, although we are going to start off with some rock art. I'm hiking up this little trail here. I'm not sure how long it is, but we're gonna follow the signs until we find our first rock art of the day. I was last here 4 years ago. That was my first visit to 9 Mile Canyon, and I spent the day here and saw a ton of rock art. I'll put a link to that video down below if you want to check it out. But again, today the focus isn't rock art, it's something else, and we'll get to that after we cover this area here. And here we are. It took just a few minutes to get here. This is called the owl panel for obvious reasons. There's an owl right here. I saw some pictures of this online, but it's bigger than I thought it would be. Like, here's my hand for scale. That is incredible. Then we have another owl right here. And just a ton of other images. We have some human figures. One of my favorites here is this bear paw, this bear claw. Look at that. That is so cool. A hand, some other animals, maybe some bighorn sheep here. Wow. Look at the eyes. The crazy eyes of the owl. Incredible. So most of this is around 1,000 years old, most of the rock art in the canyon in general, although there is some that's older and then there is some that's newer on top of that. And apart from that panel, we have this little one down to the side, and this one around the corner. But I noticed a really interesting figure just over here of what I think is someone on horseback. And so that means that this is a much newer one, because of course there weren't horses here until the Spanish came, and then the cowboys and everything. And so there's someone on horseback. So that's from 16, 17, 18, 1900s. But these are much older. Oh, and I just noticed that in addition to the big owl and the medium-sized owl, there's a small owl off to the side here. You could spend days and days exploring this area, going up the little side canyons, scouring the cliffs, and finding rock art that few people ever see. In the canyon here, there are some well-marked rock art sites. Like this one has a sign on the main road, again, saying owl panel is this way. But there are, again, hundreds and thousands of others that you have to just find on your own or know about by finding other information online. But like I said, we're not really here to look at rock art today. So this area also does have some ruins, but it's really hard to find the information about the ruins. And so I spent some time a couple days ago looking at Google Maps at the satellite view, looking for what I thought were Native American ruins. And I found a couple of sites, basically rings, circles on top of cliffs, that sort of thing. And we're gonna go inspect them today. So gonna go try to see if, first of all, see if we can get there. Second of all, see if it's anything interesting. And so I'm really looking forward to this. It's about 10 minutes later now. I've driven down the canyon. There is one other thing that I wanted to inspect a little bit closer here. So we have a sign saying Granary viewing tube. There are some little tubes showing you where to look on the cliff above here. And there is indeed a granary right there. Can you see that? So that's where the people who used to live here, the Fremont Indians, that's where they would have stored their corn, basically. They used this broad, flat-bottomed canyon to grow corn and squash, and then they would store it in granaries like that. So as far as I can tell, there's no way to access that. It's in the middle of a cliff, and so we're gonna fly the drone and get a closer look. I'm gonna start recording now. All right, let's fly toward the little granary there. Can you see it there on the cliff just left of center? Wow. It's amazing. And there it is up close. So yeah, so the Fremont people were in this area from around the 700s to around the 1200s. And apparently this area, 9 Mile Canyon, is one of the most densely populated areas where they were. So that's why there's so much rock art here. That's why there are granaries like that here. Isn't that cool? Okay, let's fly back so we can see just how inaccessible that spot on the side of the cliff is. And how did they get there? Incredible. Okay, I'm gonna bring the drone back home. The sun just peeked over the cliff there. We're gonna continue to drive east. I'm ready for some hiking. I'm ready for some exploration. So like I said, I was scouring Google Earth. I was actually looking for a place that I saw online. I'll get more into that toward the end of the video, but what I ended up finding was what looked like two stone circles. One was like on top of a cliff, I think, and one was sort of at the base of a cliff, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to actually find them and like access them. As we see with the granary here, some of these things just aren't really accessible. And so maybe we'll be able to find them, maybe not, but either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Again, I've been here before, but I've never really done any exploring on my own. I've always just like looked at the established rock art sites, and so I'm looking forward to doing some intrepid adventuring here. Okay guys, this is where we're starting our adventure on foot. So the first ring of stones that I saw was on top of a cliff somewhere, I think up here. And so we have a lot of work to do. I mean, look at this slope. We're gonna have to try to climb up this. I think the plan is to go this way and then cut up this way. But man, that is gonna be difficult. I'll put a screenshot here of what I saw on the satellite view of Google Maps that made me interested here. Again, it's just a little ring by my very rough measuring. It looks to be about 7 or 8 feet across, so not really big enough to be a house, but I don't know. I'm interested, I'm intrigued, so man, wish me luck. I figured there's like a 50% chance that we're gonna be successful here. Okay guys, I think I'm almost there. I think the circle is on top of this cliff here, and if I go around it this way, I think I can access the top. Cross your fingers for me. Let's hope it's something worth visiting and not just like a natural hole in the rock or something. Okay guys, I think we're just about there. I'm steeling myself to see nothing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here. Well, I can't say this is altogether completely unexpected. I was prepared for the possibility of not finding anything up here. Maybe what I saw in the satellite imagery was this rock, or like the shadow of this rock. I don't know. I'll fly the drone when I'm leaving here and I'll look at the spot from above. But apart from that, look at where we are. The view up here is absolutely incredible. I'm parked, I think, around this ridge down here. Can't see it. But look at this. This is wild country. Look at the ruggedness of these canyons. Unbelievable. Just think what kinds of secret spots are hidden in all of this. It's amazing. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get here. The distance was 0.77 miles with just under 1,000 feet of elevation gain. 977 feet of elevation gain, to be exact. And I believe that. This was a steep hike. Didn't cover a lot of distance, this way, but this way. Woo! What a place, though. You could spend a lifetime climbing up to things like this, exploring this area. Man. But we don't have a lifetime. We have today, so it's 11:37 right now. As I said earlier, there are 2 spots that I scoped out on Google Maps or Google Earth that I wanted to check out. This is the first one. This one, unfortunately, a little bit of a bust as far as finding what I was hoping would be a Native American ruin or a circle of some sort. That's okay. I'm gonna hike back down to the car, and assuming I make it in one piece, we're gonna go try for the second one, which is over here somewhere. I think it's somewhere over on this ridge, kind of the next ridge across from this canyon here. Somewhere over here? Maybe? I don't know, it's hard to tell. We're gonna give it a shot though. And I'll see you guys somewhere down at the canyon again in like an hour. All right guys, round 2 looks even more difficult than round 1. I think I'm trying to get up here, and so I'm gonna have to go, I guess this way? Ooh, wish me luck. But first, we're gonna go check out what I think is some rock art on the cliff over here. Oh yeah, check this out. Big panel right here. And like everywhere you look, there's something. More down here. This is amazing. Looks like a figure in an elaborate headdress, maybe. And again, just covered in figures. Such a cool place. There's so much to see here, but we've got to stay focused. Got to go up the side of the canyon here. Well guys, I'll cut right to the chase here. This is also a bust. I don't even know what I saw on the Google satellite view. I've been wandering around here and I haven't really seen much that looks like a circle. Yeah, there is just nothing up here. We struck out pretty hard and getting up here was super, super unpleasant. Very, very steep, not dangerous, just really annoying because, you know, very loose earth, very loose ground, lots of sliding, just really, really unpleasant hiking. It took an hour and I don't know, hour and 10 minutes to get up here. And with about 800 feet of elevation gain, and there's not much to show for it. Once again, we do have some pretty awesome views to console us, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed. Still, a beautiful day and a beautiful place. I wish I could pull up the Google Maps satellite view on my phone right now, but I haven't had service in 2 days and I didn't download any satellite views here beforehand, and so we're kind of just left relying on past me from 2 days ago, where I put that pin in my map, which was this spot right here, and there's just nothing here. So I'm gonna, let's see, it's 3 o'clock. I've got like 4 hours of daylight left. It'll take me an hour to get back down, and then I think I'm gonna go leave 9 Mile Canyon and find a campsite somewhere around here, and then I'll show you what started off this whole thing, this whole search. I did print out some pictures that I want to show you guys, but for now, I'm gonna have some water, eat some snacks. I do have some chocolate, like protein bars with me, but it's completely melted in the top pocket of my backpack, so not really edible. I'll see if there's anything else in my pack that I can eat, but otherwise, I'm just a little bit disappointed. And anyway, I'm gonna get off this thing, and I'll see you guys at a campsite somewhere. This is a super, super cool campsite. I'm on a peninsula of land sticking out into this canyon down below. Incredible views. 9 Mile Canyon is over here. It's where we were earlier today. What a spectacular place. A little bit windy, a little bit exposed, but not too bad. It should still be a comfortable night in the old rooftop tent. But anyway, I mentioned earlier today that this whole thing, coming to 9 Mile Canyon and trying to find these remote and precariously perched ruins on tops of cliffs and everything, this was all because of something I had seen online, and let me show you what I'm talking about. This is what started it all. This is a picture I printed out from a website that I'll put on the screen, and I'll link to the exact web page in the description. This is a screenshot of a Google Earth satellite view, and can you see that circle right in the middle? That's what led to all of this. The website that I got that from is udink.org, and it's this guy's blog. He lives in, I think he lives in Price, Utah. And for the last many years, he's been exploring basically all of southern Utah and beyond, and he finds really cool stuff. And so I've been following his blog for years and years. And he, after visiting 9 Mile Canyon several times, started looking on Google satellite views and started finding these rock rings that were, either pit houses or granaries, various structures. And then he went to one that looked super, super cool. And that picture is of that one on the satellite view, the really cool one that he called the Fortress. And again, I'll put a link to this down below if you want to check it out. And so a couple days ago, I spent a couple hours on Google Maps on the satellite view trying to find the Fortress, and I couldn't find it. But instead, I found what I thought were two other stone rings that obviously didn't pan out as we saw today. And so I thought, well, that's still a good consolation prize. But at the end of this video here, I want to put a call out to you guys. If you can find the coordinates of that spot of the Fortress, I would love to go check it out. I won't share the coordinates with anyone, but if you want to look on Google Earth yourself and then send me the coordinates, I would love to go climb up there. And it is a climb. It took the guy a couple attempts to get up to the ruins up on top. I'll go do it. I'll go make a video about it, and I think that'd be really fun. And again, I won't share specifics or anything. I just want to see that for myself. And when I get home from this trip, I'm going to continue to scour Google Earth myself, but there's no guarantee that I'll be able to find it. So, many hands make light work, many people searching Google Earth together. Hopefully we can find that place. So send me an email, use the contact form on suvrving.com. On the top of the page, there's a contact page that you can click on, fill out the form, send me the coordinates, and I would love to hear about it from you. And I'll put in the description of this video, the one that you're watching, whether someone has already sent me those or not, so that, I don't want to get 100 of these emails, but if you have found it, send it to me, and after the first person has sent it to me, I'll modify the description of this video. I'll give you one last look at this epic campsite. We'll do the full 360. I really do love this area. We're sort of on the southern part of the southern edge of the Uinta Basin in eastern Utah. And this looks and feels a lot like where I live in southwestern Wyoming. This also looks and feels like the far northwestern corner of Colorado. And I just really love this region. It's just so empty and so remote. There's no one else out here. And that's my favorite thing about it. We'll definitely be coming back to 9 Mile Canyon in the future. I think there's a lot of potential there for future adventures. And it's only a few hours from where I live. And so not too far of a drive for me. Kind of an interesting day. We didn't attain what we set out for, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I was considering, do I even release this video? But yeah, I think I do, because we saw some really beautiful scenery today, had some fun adventuring, saw some really beautiful rock art. And sometimes when you're out adventuring, when you're out traveling, this is the reality, Sometimes maybe a road is closed and you can't get to where you wanted to drive to, or you're not feeling great, and so that thing that you've really been looking forward to, you can't hike there, Stuff happens. It's all just part of the bigger adventure, right? That is life, that is these kinds of trips. And so I still really enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have the coordinates for the Fortress. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.